Hey guys, welcome to Motoroids. My name is Amit and this is the all-new TVS Jupiter 125. Now we all know that the TVS and Torque has created a segment which is rather new for the scooter segment, and that scooter has created buzz and enthusiasm and a lot of excitement in a segment which was supposed to be dull and boring. And while that scooter is selling well, it's not exactly a product which will appeal immensely to someone who's looking for a utilitarian kind of a scooter, an everyday scooter, primarily because of two reasons. Because A, the Entorque is a very powerful and sporty looking scooter, very flashy, very sporty, and B, it's not the most fuel efficient. And in that context, the Jupiter has always been a scooter which has been known to be very big, very utilitarian, and very comfortable. So to address that void, TVS has come up with this scooter. And for those of you who think that they have just plonked in a new engine inside the body of the old Jupiter, that's not the case. It's an all new product. It's been designed from the ground up. The chassis is new, the engine is all new. That engine has nothing to do with the Entorque. So this engine is an all new unit. It's a 125cc air cooled engine, and today I'm going to let you know everything about this scooter. And if you like our long format, very detailed reviews, please hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, and press that notification icon with always option. Also, sometimes you'll probably not see our videos in the lists while browsing, so put Motoroids in your searches while looking for quality content. Let's start off with the design. So as you can see, this scooter is very different looking as compared to the Jupiter. And to sum it up very quickly, the Jupiter has always had the tagline "Zyada ka fayda," which means the benefit of more. And the new Jupiter 125 builds onto that tagline. And in terms of the size, the dimensions, the scooter represents what the Jupiter 110cc has always represented, and then it adds some more. So the new tagline for the Jupiter 125 is "Zyada se bhi zyada," which means more than more. So in that context, the wheelbase of the scooter is same as the Jupiter at 1275 mm, and it's less only as compared to the Race ER and of course the Entorque, which has the longest wheelbase in the segment. But all the other scooters have a smaller wheelbase than this scooter. So in that sense, it's a very stable scooter. And as you can see, the fascia of the scooter has been completely redone, and now it boasts this floating LED DRL. Although the blinkers are bulbs, you'll find metal in all the areas that matter. So this fender is metal, but this front apron is plastic. This part is again metallic. Coming towards the side, this part is metallic, but this part here and this part here is plastic. So all the areas where there is a chance of a crash happening, TVS has kept it as metallic. And that's also one of the reasons why that this scooter weighs 109 kgs, and it's 2 kgs more than the Jupiter 110. And to put things in context, it's about 7 to 8 kgs more than the Race ER, but it's lighter than a few other scooters like the Activa. It's quite a light scooter, it's not heavy, and it's somewhere in the middle of the playing field. However, the reason why it's slightly heavier is because TVS has kept metallic parts in places, which is the requirement of this segment. And also, it's one of the biggest scooters. I'll come to that. The seat here is also the longest in the segment. So there are a lot of advantages that go with the scooter, and that's one of the reasons why this scooter is slightly on the heavier size as compared to the lightest scooter in the segment. But this is not heavy. It's somewhere in the middle. The lighting here is LED, and if you look at the headlight section, you'll have body color here with LED lighting. You have two elements on both the sides here. So the low beam is on top and the high beam is at the bottom. And this front headlight has this contrasting black fly screen with chrome elements as well. You'll also find chrome elements on the blinker panel, and this really looks very nice, especially when lit in the night. These DRLs really give it a very different kind of look. Another new inclusion is the fact that this scooter now comes with diamond cut wheels, and it gets 12 inches both up front and at the rear. Another very interesting thing that you'll notice is this vehicle comes with Maxxis tires, so the quality of the tires has gone up, and up front you have a 90 section tire and at the rear you have 100 section. So with the 125cc, the tires are new and you get Maxxis tires on the 125cc Jupiter. This scooter also comes with TVS IntelliGo technology, which essentially means it comes with start-stop technology, so that when you are stopping at a traffic signal, the engine is going to shut down by itself when you ring the throttle, and it will come to life, saving you fuel. I'll come to fuel efficiency, which is a highlight of this scooter, but let's get done with the basic specs first. The ground clearance here is 165 mm, which is among the highest in the class. The foot pegs are very high quality, made very well, and very convenient to pull out as well. The muffler design is very stubby, very short, and TVS has taken special care to reduce the size of the muffler so as to reduce the weight as well, and also to improve the airflow. Now, I'm sure a lot of you want to listen to the exhaust note, and let's listen to it quickly. While this is not as throaty as the Ntorq, it does sound quite masculine and is one of the better sounding exhaust notes in the segment. Now, one very important thing is the seat, and TVS has taken special care to make sure that this is the longest seat in the segment. If you compare it with the Jupiter, this is 65 mm longer, and if you compare it with the Access, this seat is about 30 mm longer. So this is absolutely the longest seat in the segment, offering you the most amount of comfort, and along with a gas charged rear suspension, which is 3-step adjustable, it really offers fantastic comfort. Not just that, this seat is also very well designed. The cushioning is just right, and the contouring is fantastic. I rode it for a reasonable amount of distance today, and I found it very comfortable. And the seat height is not too much, neither for the rider nor for the pillion, so it's going to be very easy for anyone to clamber aboard the seat. And while you're sitting on the rider's seat, the seat height is not too much either, and at 765 mm, even the shorter riders can very easily ride this scooter. My height is 5 feet 10 inches, and as you can see, with a bend in my knees, I can easily dig my heels into the ground, so the ride height here is quite an advantage. You get a very functional grab rail, 3D Jupiter 125 branding, and you also get chrome elements on the side, and coming towards the rear you get LED tail lamp on the sides. However, the main unit is still a bulb, and the blinkers are also bulbs, and they're housed in chrome. Now, the rear view mirrors are completely a new design, and they're two-tone with this chrome panel, and they look rather nice. They're very functional too, and you can get a very clear view of what's coming from behind, so no complaint there. So all in all, this is a very nice looking scooter, and as far as the design goes, this is one of the better looking scooters in the commuter segment. Not as sporty, not as flashy as the TVS Ntorq, but definitely one of the nicer looking scooters, and very practical too. Now, coming to features and practicality, where TVS has paid a lot of attention, let's start off with the floorboard area, where there's a lot of space, and this scooter boasts of one of the biggest floorboards. And as you can see, there is a recess for accommodating the front part of your foot. And just to answer a question, yes, this can accommodate a gas cylinder, so let's get that out of the way right at the outset. Now let's talk about this instrument console, and when you look at it from the top, you'd see a generous splattering of chrome here, and this instrument console is all new. On the left you have the speedo, and on the right you have a lot of telltale lights, and you have eco and power indicator. These are not modes, just indicators, and they are throttle actuated. Then you have engine malfunction light. You have this warning light which comes on if the IntelliGo system is not working. You have the auto start stop IntelliGo on or off light, which you can engage or disengage using this switch here. High beam and low beam, and you also have a low fuel indicator light here. Then apart from that, you also have a side stand indicator light, and this scooter also comes with an engine inhibitor for the side stand. So if the side stand is engaged, the engine is going to cut off, and there will also be a warning beep. Now, while this is a good feature, the one thing that I noticed is that while you're trying to engage the side stand, sometimes, since this panel here is flared, your foot sometimes tends to foul with this panel, and this might just lead to this panel probably wearing off in the longer run. So you have to be mindful while engaging the side stand. Now talking about the digital part of the instrument console, it comes loaded with a lot of features, although here you don't have Smart Connect, but it will be introduced in days to come, and Bluetooth connectivity will be introduced to the Jupiter 125 at a later date. Right now you get a lot of features which include a clock, instantaneous fuel efficiency, average fuel efficiency, trip A, trip B, and odo, and a fuel gauge. So you get distance to dry as well, and all of this really makes it very functional and usable. In terms of switchgear, you get auto start stop or IntelliGo switch to turn it on or on, and it also gets an integrated starter generator, which means that the starts are super smooth and you just have to dab the starter button gently for the engine to come to life. Now on the left you have horn, turn indicators which are push to cancel, high beam and low beam, which is also doubles up as the pass switch. Then on the left hand you also have this lever to apply the brakes on a slope. So all of that has been taken care of. The switchgear quality is quite good, and it's built to last, although it doesn't quite have the extended handlebar, but the quality here seems to be pretty good and it's going to last a very long time. Now we talk about the most important feature on this scooter, and you must have seen fuel lids at the rear, which sometimes seem quite useless because you still have to get down from the scooter oftentimes. But here what TVS have done is not just have they provided a remote fuel opener, but also the fuel lid here is right at the front. So what has happened here is they have moved the fuel tank to the bottom of the scooter. Generally it's here, and that leaves amount of space under the seat, and the fuel cap also has to be at the rear. But now with the fuel tank having been positioned at the rear, it's completely sealed, so it's safe and it's under the chassis, so it's protected. And with that, the supply to the fuel can be facilitated from here, and simply by twisting the key like this, you can open the fuel lid, and it's super convenient. So you don't off the scooter anymore. You just have to press the key and turn it to its right to open this lid here. Now if you wish to get access to the underseat area, you simply have to turn the key left without pushing, and you will be exposed to the best in class underseat storage. And this underseat storage can actually accommodate 2 full face helmets, although this cannot accommodate a high quality heavy helmet, but the regulation helmets, the lighter ones, can be accommodated here, and 2 helmets can fit here very easily. It also comes with illumination, and if you look closely you will see that there are some concentric circles here, and the big ball that you see here represents the Jupiter, which means that it's a Easter egg, and TVS have tried to create a design which makes its Jupiter fans happy. The storage area here is 32 liters, which is by far the best in the segment and better as compared to the competition by 10 liters. So most of the scooters here have 21, 22 or 23 liters of underseat storage. This scooter has 32 liters. So this can easily accommodate your weekly groceries or whatever you want to put in. So there is tons and tons of space here, and I really think that it's a great advantage. Now this little knob that you see here, you turn it and it will come out, and it's a port. You just have to remove this and then diagnostics can be done. So that's what this little knob here is meant for. This illumination unit can come out also, and if you're looking for something, you can move it around like so. So this has to be the pièce de résistance for the scooter, where the practicality quotient has gone up several notches. If you look at the underseat also, there are recesses for the helmet tops to fit in, so that the helmets fit in very nicely, and TVS have done this very nicely. Now still continuing up front, you have this USB socket here which comes as standard, so that's a great feature, and you can put your cell phone here. So there is a crevice where you can put your wallet, your cell phone, and the volume here is 2 liters, so there is enough capacity here. You also get a hook here and another one here. So basically in terms of practicality, TVS have loaded this scooter up, and for the kind of customer that they are targeting, it is going to appeal a lot. a few other things. For those of you who are interested, yes, this comes with a kick, so you can kick it on. A lot of you often ask us whether there is a kick, so yes, there is a kick, and you also have a footrest for the ladies who would probably want to sit with both legs on one side. So all of these things are there, and on top of that, the main stand is quite easy to engage. The scooter doesn't feel heavy at all, and even the ladies or riders who are not very strongly built can put it on the main stand without any problem. In terms of braking, this scooter basically will come in 3 variants, where the first variant will have sheet metal wheels. The second variant will have drum brakes up front and at the rear with the alloys, and this one here is the top of the line variant, which gets a disc brake up front, 220 mm, and at the rear there is a 130 mm drum, and it obviously comes with TVS's sync brake technology, and TVS says that the sync brake technology on this scooter has been improved as compared to the other scooters, and we can really vouch for that because as we were riding on this track here, the braking on the scooter was fantastic. The handling was also amazing, and it came to a halt without any squeals or squeaks, and if you're riding it even at a fast clip, there won't be any problem dropping the anchors and bringing the scooter to a halt. Now that was about the functional bits that you can see, but there is a lot of clever engineering that has been done with this scooter, and a part of that is these air intakes that you see here behind the apron, and also these little vents that you see here, and these little vents that you see here as well. Now, along with the shape of this apron and these vents that you see here, now with all of those things, what TVS have done is that they have created a system where the engine gets fed air aplenty, and that really helps the engine breathe better. It keeps it running cooler, and that definitely helps its performance as well as its efficiency. So in that sense, TVS have really worked very hard on making sure that the engine is breathing optimally. And talking specifically about the engine, this is a ground up unit. It's been built from the scratch, and this 124.8 cc engine delivers a peak power of 8.3 PS, which is produced at 6000 rpm, and the peak torque of 10.5 Newton meters is produced at 4500 rpm. Now the peak power here may not be the best in class, but it's par for the course. Most of the scooters in the segment produce almost equal or less power. The Destiny produces more, it's about 9 PS, and the XS also produces slightly more, which is about 0.4 PS more than this scooter. However, the torque here is segment leading. If you compare the commuter scooters, the 10.5 Newton meters of torque is the best in class. However, it's not for outright performance that this scooter is tuned for, and as you would have seen, while the Ntorq delivers fantastic performance, the fuel efficiency there is not the best in class. However, with the Jupiter 125, what TVS have done is they have tuned it for low end torque, for mid-range grunt, smoothness, refinement, and most of all fuel efficiency. So they have used low friction parts within the engine. It's a very, very lightweight unit, and they have used a variety of technologies, which includes a silent cam chain for low NVH, a double cog chain, a twin entry chamber air filter. Of course, it comes with eco thrust fuel injection. An important detail here is PVD coated piston rings, which reduce friction and increase the durability of the engine. It also comes with a low inertia crankshaft assembly, and it also comes with a high tumble intake pipe for better combustion. All of these technologies come together, improve the efficiency of the engine and provide it with great acceleration off the block as well as great fuel efficiency. And about this engine, I tested this engine on the track today and I am delighted. So to talk about smoothness, this is a very creamy, very refined engine, and there is absolutely no sense of vibrations on this engine. Even when you are taking it to the limit, there are no vibrations, there is no resistance from the engine. It's a very rev happy engine, and while riding this scooter, you can tell that outright performance is not the purpose of the scooter. However, it feels very, very sprightly, and as per my observation, it is very brisk till 65-70 kilometers per hour. After that, the progress slows down a little bit, and it doesn't reach 80 kilometers per hour as quickly as it does 65 kilometers per hour. And after 80, it just plateaus, and the top speed that the scooter can achieve is about a little more than 90 kilometers per hour on the speedo. The real top speed, the true top speed of this scooter, as stated by TVS, is 84 kilometers per hour. Now, across the whole rev range, this scooter feels delightfully creamy, smooth. And the power delivery is one of the best in the segment. It feels sprightly off the block, and even till the mid revs, till 50, 60, it feels very, very punchy. So in terms of power and performance for everyday use, you'll feel that this scooter has enough and more, even with 2-up riding. Also, the refinement is something which you're going to really, really appreciate. And another important thing which is very, very crucial for a lot of you is fuel efficiency. I tested this scooter for fuel efficiency to whatever extent I could on the test track. And the best fuel efficiency that you'll get with this scooter on an open highway, if you're riding with a light right wrist, is 65 kilometers to the liter. So if you're riding on an open highway and if you're not in a hurry, you'll get up to 65 kmpl. And on a day-to-day basis, I can clearly see that this scooter is going to deliver 55 to 60 kmpl. Even if you're thrashing it and keeping the throttle completely pinned for most of the time, the fuel efficiency is never going to drop below 45 kilometers to the liter. So this is a fantastic scooter in terms of fuel efficiency, and as per what I could observe, this will deliver one of the best fuel efficiency numbers in the 125cc segment. About the suspension and handling, as you can see, the front is a fork, and at the rear you have a gas charged monoshock, which is 3-step adjustable. If you can come closer, you can see this notch, and you can simply press it with your hand like so to change the settings. And it's 3-step adjustable, and I tested it for all 3 settings. And what I can tell you is that at the softest setting, it's really cushy, very, very compliant, very comfortable. And even if you're riding on bad roads with just one rider, at the softest setting, it really absorbs all the bumps. In the mid setting, it's a good mix, and even if you're riding with a pillion, it should be able to deliver good ride quality with reasonably good handling. There's a circle, there's a bend on this track where we pushed this scooter to the limit, and at about 80-85 kilometers per hour around the bend, it felt completely poised and there was no problem whatsoever. I found the tires also grippy enough. So in terms of handling, I really believe that TVS have done a fantastic job. This scooter handles pretty well for what it's meant to do. Even the braking is very, very reliable. It stops in a line, and even from 90 kilometers per hour, when you drop the anchors, it stops very, very reassuringly without any drama whatsoever. So it's a very comfortable, very practical, yet very dependable package, and it's comfortable as well as very, very reliable around the bends as well. Although this is not a scooter that you'd be taking out for corner carving, but it has a very reliable set of 2 wheels, and the handling is very nimble and very, very reassuring. The rear grab rail also comes with this reflector which enhances the visibility during the night. About the handling, an important aspect is, since the fuel tank has been moved to the bottom, it has helped mass centralization, and now this scooter has slightly more weight on the front wheel. So it does really feel like a very reliable set of 2 wheels, and you will enjoy riding this scooter. It feels very nimble and very enjoyable to ride. Now in terms of colors, you will get this all new orange color, which is the brand color for the Jupiter 125. Apart from this, you also have a grey, you have a dark blue, and you also have a white. Now to sum things up, I am pretty sure that you guys would want us to tell you what the pricing is. Now the pricing has not been revealed yet. However, if you look at this entire segment, most of the scooters range in price from 72 to 84,000 rupees, with the exception of the Destiny, which is 70 to 76,000 rupees. If you look at the Ntorq also, which I would say is a more sporty scooter, it's priced between 72.2 to 83.2 thousand rupees, and I expect this scooter to be priced slightly below the Ntorq, and my understanding is that this scooter will be priced between 70 to 78,000 rupees, and at that price this scooter will be fantastic value for money. So if you are looking for a very practical, very refined, fun to drive scooter with a lot of features which are not available in some other scooters in the segment, this has to be my recommendation. The Access is a phenomenal scooter, but it's showing its age, and the Jupiter 125 is going to give it a good run for its money with all its new features and its practicality and fuel efficiency. So if you're looking for a scooter in the 125cc segment, especially in the commuter class, do not make a buying decision without test riding this scooter. It really is a fantastic package. I really hope that I was able to answer all your questions through my long format video, and if you still have any other questions, please put them down in the comment section. I'll be very happy to answer them individually. And as I mentioned before, if you like our long format videos, do hit that like button, subscribe to Motoroids, press that bell icon and press that always option so that you can always get our videos in time, and always put Motoroids in your searches. Until next time then, this is Amit Changani signing off. Rev hard, rev free and ride safe.